Tropical Storm Ophelia is now official, and we are gearing up for a nasty weather day on Saturday. It's meteorologist Joe Martucci. Good to be with you here on this Friday evening. This is my final storm forecast here. We'll go for a couple minutes to talk about everything you can expect. Let's get into our storm threats. I did bump up the tidal flooding threat to a moderate here. I do believe we're talking about moderate flood stage as we go into the Saturday afternoon high tide. Otherwise, a high risk for rainfall flooding and beach erosion continues to be likely. We have a lot of weather alerts issued by the National Weather Service here, and for good reason. This is a multi-impact storm. Let's go through this one by one. So, the wind alerts. If you're at the shore here, we're talking about a high wind warning, gusts up to 60 miles an hour, with an advisory for the inland areas with winds up to 50 miles an hour. Cumberland County is not in that. Coastal flood alerts, we have a warning in effect for Ocean, Atlantic, and Cape May. We are expecting moderate flood stage with that Saturday PM high tide. We have an advisory for Cumberland County as well, even Monmouth County in the advisory, because we are looking for minor flood stage. With our marine alerts, now this is for both offshore and in the bays, a storm warning. Now this is for the lower part of Delaware Bay as well. It is going to be dangerous to be out there with a boat. It's just as simple as that. Winds will be 40 to 50 knots with our gusts here, and we have high wave action. We have a rip current statement out. Not that it's a good day for the beach anyway, Saturday, but it's very dangerous out there on the water, and a high surf advisory too. Here is Ophelia. The center of the storm is southeast of Wilmington, North Carolina. It is a strong tropical storm with maximum sustained winds of 60 miles an hour. Now notice where most of the clouds are with this storm. It's to the north, into the northwest. So even though the center of the storm will be making landfall in North Carolina at some point Saturday morning, we're going to be seeing the heaviest stuff here on Saturday morning. We take a zoom out at the track, and this is what we have going on here. It turns into a remnant storm somewhere north of Richmond on Sunday morning, and really that center of circulation comes close to us as we go into Sunday afternoon. Here's a look at our futurecast and our air pressure. Now, where you see those white lines, those are lines of equal pressure. We call them isobars. The tighter those white lines, the stronger the winds will be. So we're dry for this evening. Here comes the rain, though, starting between 9 p.m. to midnight. And then it is a very heavy rain with strong winds early on Saturday morning. This will be the worst part of our storm here from about 2 a.m. to 9 a.m. here. Heavy rain, flooding rain, the strong winds, power outages possible. Then, as we go into the rest of Saturday, it's hit or miss showers here. Maybe a rumble of thunder too. So it's not a washout, but I wouldn't really do anything outside because you see how tight those white lines are packed together. It is going to be very windy on Saturday here across the area. Now, the winds do weaken as we go into Saturday night, but showers and storms continue to be around. Then, as we go into early Sunday, the center of low pressure system comes closer to Washington, D.C., we do get another round of some steady rain, but notice where it is. It's in Bridgeton. It's in Cumberland County, Western Atlantic. You guys, yes, we'll see more rain in places furthest east, but I think for the most part, Sunday is a dry day. It's a breezy day. It's a cloudy day, but I do believe it's a rain-free day. So if you did want to do stuff outside, it's okay. Not going to be the best, but it will be okay. Let's take a look at our strongest wind gusts here. We're looking for 60 miles an hour in those orange areas. That includes places like Manahawkin, LBI, Seaside Heights, all the way down the coast to Cape May. Even places like Cape May Courthouse can get up to 60 miles an hour. 50 miles an hour in those orange areas, those yellowish orange areas, I should say. And then 40 miles an hour once you make your way into Cumberland County and then out towards Philadelphia here. In terms of power outages, I think some will be around, but there's some good news with this. The shore seeing the strongest winds, but the power lines usually are pretty good with the shore. After Sandy, a lot of these power lines got fortified. So I think your power outage just really comes more from a tree falling, which can happen in some areas. But we'll go with a moderate risk for power outages, low risk for a tornado here. I can't completely rule one out, but it's a low risk. And then lightning will be isolated as well. We take a look at our forecast rainfall totals. Like I said, this is our biggest concern. 2 to 4 inches easily here. Somewhere is going to pick up 5. This model is saying Summers Point, maybe, Pleasantville, Longport. We'll see what happens. But 2 to 4 inches of rain, certainly going to bring areas of roadway, stream, and creek flooding. Most of this, remember, comes Saturday morning. Here's a look at our tidal flooding forecast. Minor flood stage with that Sunday morning high tide. The usual flooding we see a couple times a year. Here's moderate flood stage. This we see maybe 5 times a year. Many bayside roadways flood. Roads will probably close. Black and White Horse Pikes probably close with this. We'll take a look at Ocean City. This is minor flood stage or expected areas that could flood in minor flood stage early on Sunday. Notice a number of streets on the Bayward side of West Avenue do have some water on it. But watch what happens when we go to moderate flood stage. You'll see this difference here. We go to Saturday afternoon, and we're talking about nearly everywhere on the bay side of West Avenue has water, and it's just tough to get around. It will be tough to get around anywhere at the shore Saturday afternoon with the coastal flooding and whatever rain falls as well. Let's get you to our inland 7-day forecast. What happens on the other side of the storm? Well, we get cooler, and we actually get breezy as well. Tuesday and Wednesday is breezy winds out of the northeast. Good amount of sunshine, but not the most pleasant days here. And at the shore, probably more tidal flooding to talk about. It's that sunny day flooding we talk about a lot here, where you do have, winds coming from the onshore direction. They're strong, and even though there's no rain around or a storm, it's just enough to create tidal flooding. That's what we have going on. We're going to have full coverage for you throughout the day on Saturday. We'll have live written updates. We'll be doing videos as well. And send me your photos at pressofac.com/weather.